Look at the receipt. You swiped your card. The screen said approved. You walked out carrying the box, and you thought the transaction was over. You thought you just paid for something. But you didn't. Not fully. Because here's the uncomfortable truth about everything you own. You never just buy an object. Everything you own costs you money twice. The first time is obvious. It's the number on the receipt. The second time is invisible. And that second cost, quiet, slow, and relentless, is the one that most people never see coming. I want you to picture two apartments. Same city, same neighborhood, same street. Walk into the first one. The person here earns $95,000 a year. On the wall, a 75-inch television. In the living room, a $4,000 leather sectional still being paid off. In the kitchen, appliances still in their original boxes, unopened. The closets overflow with clothing. Many items still have their price tags. The spare bedroom isn't a bedroom anymore. It's a storage unit for things that haven't been touched in years. This person looks successful. But when they check their bank account, there's a quiet knot in their stomach. They are 2 missed paychecks away from a serious crisis. Now walk into the second apartment. This person earns $52,000 a year. The first thing you notice is space. A modest couch, a reasonably sized television, a kitchen with only the tools that actually get used. This person checks their bank account with calm confidence. They have 18 months of expenses saved. They invest 20% of every paycheck. Same city, same street, same life on paper. But the person earning almost half as much has nearly 10 times the financial security. The first person isn't reckless. They don't gamble. They don't make obviously bad decisions. They just gradually accumulated a lifestyle that now requires every single dollar they earn just to maintain. The apartment didn't get smaller, but somehow their world did. We are not taught to think this way about our possessions. From the moment we're old enough to want things, we are culturally conditioned to see accumulation as the clear signal of success. More things, bigger spaces, constant upgrades. And so we accumulate. But there is a hidden psychology to physical objects that nobody puts on the price tag. Every single item you bring into your home occupies a small slice of your mental bandwidth. It has to be cleaned, organized, maintained, insured, worried about. Behavioral researchers have found that visual clutter raises your cortisol levels and reduces your brain's ability to focus. Your possessions are literally stressing you out in ways you cannot consciously perceive. You are paying mental rent on things you haven't touched in years. You think you own your possessions, but slowly, silently, they begin to own you. This brings us to the concept at the center of this video, the second cost. The first cost is the purchase price, the number on the receipt. Obvious, visible, done. The second cost is an invisible subscription you never actually agreed to. It includes storage, maintenance, mental energy, and the most overlooked variable in personal finance, opportunity cost. Let's look at what this actually means in numbers. Space costs money. In most American cities, you are paying roughly $30 to $50 per square foot per year just to house your things. That unused treadmill sitting in the corner, it takes up about 20 square feet. You are paying up to $1,000 a year in implicit rent just to store a machine that has become an expensive coat rack. Then there's maintenance. A $30,000 boat sounds like a single purchase, but the industry standard is that annual upkeep runs about 10% of the boat's value. That's $3,000 a year for winterization, cleaning, insurance, and repairs, even if you never take it on the water. And then there's what I call the lifestyle multiplier. One major purchase doesn't stay one purchase. It expands into an ecosystem of related costs. The boat needs a trailer. The trailer needs a hitch. The hitch requires a truck powerful enough to tow it. One decision silently triggers a cascade of forced spending. And underneath all of this sits the quietest cost of all: opportunity cost. Every dollar locked inside a physical possession is a dollar that cannot be working for you somewhere else. That $15,000 home gym sitting mostly unused, if that money had been placed in a simple index fund and left alone for 15 years, it wouldn't just be $15,000. It could be $50,000 or more. You didn't just buy a home gym. You bought a home gym instead of your future financial freedom. I want to be fair here, because this idea is easy to misread. This is not a call for minimalism as a lifestyle identity. It is not about living in an empty room or depriving yourself of things that bring you genuine joy. There are purchases that are worth every dollar and every square foot of space they occupy. The question isn't whether you should own things. The question is whether you are choosing your things or whether your things have quietly begun choosing your life for you. The first person in those two apartments didn't wake up one morning and decide to build a life that would financially trap them. It happened one reasonable purchase at a time, and that's precisely what makes it so difficult to see. To start seeing the second cost clearly, apply two simple filters before any significant purchase. The first is the cost per use calculation. Before you buy something, estimate honestly how many times you will actually use it. Then divide the total price by that number. A $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per wear. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs $2 per wear. The more expensive jacket is, in every meaningful way, cheaper. This single calculation cuts through the noise of marketing and eliminates most impulse purchases instantly. The second is the replacement test. Walk through your home, look at the items occupying your space, and ask yourself one honest question. If this disappeared today, would I actually spend money to replace it? Not whether you'd miss it theoretically, whether you'd go buy another one. For most things sitting unused in most homes, the honest answer is no. They exist through inertia, not intention. And when something exists through inertia alone, it is costing you space, attention, and money without giving anything meaningful back. Sell what has value. Donate what serves someone else. Let go of what serves no one. We spend the first part of our adult lives trying to add things to our lives. More possessions, more square footage, more visible markers of how far we've come. But the most financially free people I've studied share one quiet characteristic. At some point, they shifted. They stopped measuring wealth by what they owned and started measuring it by what they could choose. Because the highest form of financial security isn't a number in a bank account. It's optionality, the freedom to make a real choice when it matters most. Can you leave a job that is damaging your health? Can you take 6 months away to care for someone you love? Can you say no to an opportunity that pays well but asks you to compromise something important? These options only exist for people who have built real margin between what they earn and what they require to live. And the money sitting inside possessions you don't use is money that cannot buy that margin back when you need it most. Every purchase is a trade. You are trading a unit of freedom for a unit of ownership. Neither is wrong by itself, but the person who understands the second cost makes that trade consciously. And when you finally understand it, everything changes. You stop treating your money as a tool for accumulation. You start treating it as a tool for freedom. You realize that releasing things isn't a sacrifice, it's a form of self-respect. Because when you own less, your world doesn't get smaller, your freedom gets larger.